Hello everyone. My name is Kausalya Devi. Me and my team members will be presenting about COVID-19, which is the silent killer of our nation. My group members are Ashika Alison, Noor Hidayah, Kashmita Ibrahim, and Alia Noor Fazana. So this is a table of contents. We will be introducing about COVID-19 and the objective, symptoms, and the body reaction towards COVID-19, transmission of COVID-19, testing methods, preventive measures, and also conclusion about this whole COVID-19. COVID-19 coronavirus is very famous for now all around the world because this is the kind of pandemic right now. Basically, this is illness is caused by SARS-CoV-2, which was termed as COVID-19 by the WHO, which is World Health Organization, acronym derived from Coronavirus Disease 2019 coronavirus. The first case was identified in Wuhan City, Hubei Province, China in early December. On January 2020, it was an outbreak by the World Health Organization and was declared as a world pandemic on March 11, 2020. It was the first such designation since declaring the H1N1 as a pandemic in 2009. This virus that causes COVID-19 is a family of viruses called coronaviruses. Antibiotics doesn't really work on these viruses because these viruses are more than these antibiotics, and it causes complications too. In this case, antibiotics may be recommended by the healthcare provider too sometimes. So the total number of cases in Malaysia is around 2,847 new positive cases with 8 deaths. This is a current report until 23rd of April 2021. As you can see, this is the distribution of COVID-19 cases according to the date of confirmation. So as you can see, from 10 April to 23rd April, we can see the increase and the decrease in the number of patients who are actually affected by COVID-19 coronavirus. For the first wave, there are 22 cases, and second wave before MCO was actually 651 cases. Second wave during MCO, first and second phase of MCO was 4,314 cases, and we can see the rapid change in the increase in the number of patients who are actually affected with coronavirus. The second wave during MCO is 1,311. Second wave during CMCO was 2,038 cases. Second wave during RMCO was 1,831 cases, and the third wave during MCO, CMCO, and RMCO is 377,368 cases in total.
Objectives are to provide a brief introduction about COVID-19 and to understand its transmission method. This is also to give an awareness on public how the immune system generally protect them from infectious disease such as this COVID-19.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Noor Hidayah binti Muhammad Syafiquan, and today I will be presenting about the symptoms and the body reactions towards COVID-19 virus. So firstly, when our body gets infected by this virus, the virus will infect our healthy cells, especially in the lung. So the virus itself will make copies and multiplies throughout our body. So they latch its spiky surface protein to the receptors of healthy cells. Specifically, the viral proteins burst into cells. Once the virus inside, the virus will hijack the healthy cell and take the command. Eventually, it will kill some healthy cells. So the only way that our body will want to show that we are infected by the COVID virus is by showing some symptoms. So these are the common symptoms that happen to most of patients that get infected by the COVID-19, which is fever, cough, shortness of breath, or difficulty breathing, fatigue, body ache, headache, new loss sense of smells or sense of taste, sore throat, runny nose or congestions, nausea or vomiting, and diarrhea. So usually for the children, especially in the youngest, they did not show much symptom as adults. They tend to be more mild because some children may have experienced gastrointestinal symptoms like diarrhea or vomiting, but still they tend to be more mild, and even most children tend to have asymptomatic infection, which means they do not have any symptoms at all. But these are few symptoms that can happen to the children, which is fever, abdominal pain, vomiting, diarrhea, neck pain, rash, bloodshot eyes, feeling extra tired. But not every children that get infected with this virus gonna experience the same symptoms, because like I said just now, the symptoms tend to be more mild for the children. So That's all. Thank you.
So hi, I'll be talking about the transmission of COVID-19. The virus can spread from the transfer of bodily fluid from an infected person, for example, saliva, when they cough, sneeze, speak, sing, or breathe heavily. These liquid particles are different sizes, ranging from the larger respiratory droplets to the smaller aerosols. So how can they be transmitted? So these are the few examples on the transmission method. Firstly is through physical contact. So when an infected person touches a non-infected person, the virus can be transmitted easily. Next, moving on to coughing and sneezing. So coughing and sneezing will release small water droplets, or known as aerosols. So whoever who are non-infected stands in a radius less than 3 meters or close to an infected person, the water droplets will touch or will be breathed in by the non-infected person, and the virus can be transmitted easily. Next is by touching contaminated objects. For example, let's see in this situation, when an infected person touches the table and a non-infected person touches the same table, the virus can be transmitted to the non-infected person easily. Last but not least is through sexual contact. This is because sexual contact involves close physical contact and also the transfer of bodily fluids, which are both requirements for the transmission of COVID-19. That's all. Thank you.
I'm Ashika, and I'll be presenting about the testing methods for COVID-19. So there are 3 types. One is PCR testing, which is also known as molecular tests. One is antigen test, and another one is antibody test. So to test, look for viral materials, which are the PCR test and also antigen test. For the third one, it examines the body immune response to infection, also known as the antibody test. So these are the differences between PCR test, antigen test, and also antibody test. For PCR test, it detects viral genetic materials and uses swabs from nasal or throat. And then the RNA will be extracted and converted to DNA. And then it uses PCR machines to amplify DNA. And then what the test tells you, whether any viral genetic materials is present even at low levels. The advantages are, it has high accuracy as it is very sensitive and specific. For the disadvantages, it is expensive and has longer result waiting time. Then for antigen test, it detects proteins, also known as antigens, on the surface of the virus. Same as PCR test, it uses swab from nasal or throat. But then PCR uses PCR machines, but for this, the sample is added into liquid that contains antibody. So let's say if a person is positive COVID, when their swab is added into this liquid, the antibody will bind to the antigen of the virus. So what a test tells you, whether the virus is present in high concentration. For the advantages, it is inexpensive and you only have to wait a short period of time for the result. And the disadvantages, it has moderate accuracy as it might miss infections with low virus levels. Next one is antibody test. The antibody test detects antibodies produced by the immune system against the virus, and it uses blood sample to detect the antibodies. So what the test tells you, whether you are likely to have had the virus, but it doesn't detect an active infection. For the advantages, it is also not expensive and you only have to wait a short period of time for the result. For the disadvantages, false positive is possible and it cannot determine current infection, and this can cause the spreading of the virus. And that's all from me. Thank you.
Now we turn to preventive measures. These are the preventive measures to practice: social distancing, regular cleaning and disinfecting, face cover, wear gloves, and seeking medical attention. First is social distancing. To do it, we can avoid handshake, avoid groups, stay away from surfaces, stay at home, and also keep the distance between people. 6 feet is an ideal space between people to people. Second is regular cleaning and disinfecting. The easiest thing is hand washing, and this is the proper way to wash our hand. Next, to disinfecting. This is our proper way to disinfecting the surfaces. First, we can wear the reusable or disposable gloves. Then, clean it with soap and water first, then use disinfectant. Last is keep the surfaces wet for a period of time, based off the disinfectant level. This is the percentage of disinfectant methods. Next, to face cover. We can cover our face with something that we call it mask. And these are some recommended masks. Besides that mask, we can also use the fabric mask, of course, with proper maintenance. And these are the proper way to use a mask, especially the fabric mask. Next, wear gloves. We use this to avoid the surfaces contaminated by COVID-19. And last, seeking medical attention. You can seek a medical attention if you face this severe condition. Of course, you should meet the doctor for the right direction. After you got the right medication, better for you to stay at home to avoid COVID-19 spread out. And also you should remember this: the much you meet people, the much you got a chance to affect yours and other life. Live in new normal. Follow your country regulation and stay safe.
So, in conclusion, we need to avoid the 3C, practice 3W, and keep being updated about the current issues regarding the COVID-19. Firstly, By avoiding 3C, we were needed to avoid crowded places, confined places, and also avoid having close conversation. This will help in cutting the pandemic chain. Next, practice 3W. The 3W are wear, which we were needed to always wear our mask, sanitize our hand, and also use the gloves if it were needed. And next, wash, which is wash our hand frequently to get rid of those viruses. And lastly, warn. The third step is keep being updated about the current issues. We can always keep updated by following our Ministry of Health social media, having MySejahtera, and also browsing official website of Ministry of Health. By doing this, we can know the current clusters, the latest positive cases, and also our vaccination updates. So that's all from us. Thank you for your attention and stay safe, everyone.